Charcoal lesson, key to success in everyday activity.
Hello, good morning. Once again, it's your friend here. Welcome to my channel, Souljah Things. And today I'm not alone. I'm with a friend here. Let her introduce herself.
Hi guys, good morning. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Precious. People call me Pinky Fresh. So today on Souljah Things, I would like you to like, subscribe, and click that notification button, okay?
You heard that? You heard that very clear. Because today we're going to deal with something very big, something very, very important, something that you learn a lesson from. I hope you're going to give them the best of you today, right?
I will try my best.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
But it's up to you guys to decide whether what I give is good or not.
Aha! You heard that. So don't go anywhere. Just keep watching. You're welcome to Souljah. Thanks. Thank you. Wow, we're back. And as I told you before, you've learned a very important thing today. And today we're talking about the charcoal lesson. The charcoal lesson. Yes, one day, we are going through some discussions, and we discovered this through our discussion. At times it's good to discuss important things, and you will discover things from that. Can you remember anything about the discussion that day?
Yeah, I remember we were talking about something, and then all of a sudden you brought about the charcoal lesson, and then I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is a very good example. This is a very good lesson that people need to know.
So we want to share the story with you about the charcoal lesson right now. So this is the story. It goes this way. When you get a charcoal out of a fire, it still burns. It's still glowing. You still get a reddish glow from it because it's brought out freshly from the fire. Now, that same charcoal, if you put it in an oxygenated environment, you know what happens to it?
Yes.
It keeps burning.
It keeps burning.
Aha. But when you put it in a vacuum or a place where it doesn't get the normal oxygen that it needs to continue burning, what happens to the charcoal?
The fire slowly
dies off. Yes. And you might wonder, what does charcoal lesson, or rather, what does charcoal have to do with lesson?
Yeah.
But in everything, we've come to understand that every single thing we do teaches a lesson. It's only based on the way we understand it. Okay? So, like from this lesson, since you get out a charcoal from the fire, that's one. The second one, if you give it oxygen, it keeps burning. The third one, if you remove oxygen from it, it dies off. What do you think is the lesson that probably any of us, we, the people watching, can get from it?
Well, when you first told me about this lesson, when you spoke to me about it, I really thought deep about it. And I came to the conclusion that this has to do with our everyday lives. It's in one way or the other, it affects our everyday lives. Okay, let's take an example. You come up with an idea.
Yeah.
Like, let's go for a very simple, basic one. You come up with an idea, and then you bring it fresh off the table from your mind, and then for it to actually grow, you need to keep giving it that fire, that oxygen for it to grow. So, and when it doesn't have enough push, that's the oxygen we're talking about now. When it doesn't have enough push, it slowly dies off. You won't be able to achieve things you want to do. So that's how we're relating it to the charcoal incident. Another incident I'm going to talk about is in the relationship aspect. When we go to the relationship aspect, every person, an adult, has been in one relationship and another, both friendship, dating, or any kind of relationship.
Even family is a relationship.
Exactly, family is a relationship too. So when we're talking about family or any relationship in general, it needs that oxygen.
It needs that oxygen to keep burning.
To keep burning, for it to keep moving forward. But when you're not giving it enough oxygen, now the oxygen here, we can take it as attention or just any other thing you want to use it as. But once you don't give it that oxygen, it slowly dies off. It's been put in a vacuum and it just slowly dies off. I hope I'm getting to where you want to.
Yes. So that means you from her explanation, it's very, very obvious that the charcoal is like whatever we're doing, whatever we are innovating in the first place, right?
Exactly.
And bringing it out from the fire in the first place is like creating something new.
Yes.
It's like bringing something from the world of idealism to
Into reality, exactly.
Okay. And when you give it the oxygen, it means you're giving it the necessary tools to keep that idea going.
Exactly.
And when it's lacking the oxygen, that means it's lacking the necessary tools to keep that stuff that you've been innovating going.
Exactly.
And that means it dies off.
Exactly.
And it's applicable in our businesses,
yes,
relationship, and also in our faith.
Exactly, in our faith.
Yes. So, okay, that's very good. Okay, let's first of all talk about maybe the most important one everyone want to hear about. Is it love? Not actually business, because I know everyone wants to be a successful businessman, be as rich as the richest people in the world. You can mention some of them: Bill Gates, mention the owner of Facebook,
Amazon,
all of them. So, so you see, let's just talk about business. How, if the business is related to the charcoal, when we get the charcoal out of the fire, that means we are bringing a business from the IQ into reality.
Exactly.
And now this business, when it's brought to reality, that means we've started the business.
That's it.
And for the business to keep running so that the business does not die off, it needs some kind of oxygen to keep it running, right?
Yes.
That's why the normal businessman will always tell you, think big and start small. Then you keep growing and growing and growing.
Exactly.
Certainly, if you're not giving it the right thing, you're not growing, right? So, what are some of the tools that you think that a business, just if you just bought a few, that you think will act as an oxygen to keep the business running over time?
Well, when it comes to the business aspect, you have things like good management skills, interpersonal relationship. Good management skills is something that you have to have when you're starting a business newly. You have to have good management skills. Because let's face it, without a good management skill, your business is already doomed from the start. Permit me to use that word. Because you won't have a very good management. Your things are not going to be that coordinated. Now let's move to interpersonal relationship. You're going to have a good relationship with your workers, people you work with, if you're going to have a good business and if your business is going to grow. So this is just what I think from my own part.
Wow, that's very excellent. And I think I should add networking. Networking is very, very important. Well, networking, not just the networking, the technological networking, but physical networking. Like if I own a business and I know you, and you know somebody, and that somebody knows somebody else, and they know somebody else. As far as I introduce my business to you and you need it, you get it, you love it, you introduce my business to somebody else.
Exactly.
And that somebody else will introduce to somebody else. And that means the network, I've already brought more customers to me, making my business awareness good, and so many things like that. So networking is very, very important. You can use the word connectivity if you don't want to use the word networking. So I think that is as well important. Then I think another thing is innovative ideas. Because, for instance, if I'm running a paper-based business now, and now we're in the world of tech, I think I'm already outdated. How do you see that?
True.
So what should I do?
You have to bring in new ideas, to spice up, to keep you updated, to keep you in check. If you started a business 10 years ago and that what you're doing is not what is in vogue now, you have to find a way to make your business in vogue and in line with what's going on now.
Yeah, so that's beautiful, innovation and renovation. So that is for business. And the next place we think we can apply it is where?
Our faith.
Our faith. That's beautiful. Our faith. So if we believe, whatever faith you are, believe in it. Now we are not strictly talking about Christians, right?
Yeah.
We're just being flexible. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, a Christian, a Buddhist, a Jewish, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. But for you to keep your faith going, to keep it burning, just like the charcoal, you have to keep giving it the praise, the oxygen that it needs. You don't need to bury it in the vacuum because it will certainly die off. So what are some of those things you think faith requires for it to keep burning? Some of those oxygen that you think about faith?
When we talk about faith, we have to, it's a very versatile topic. when it comes to mind, for you to strengthen your faith, you have to meditate on the word, you know. Also hearing the word to help, not just meditating, because you have to hear the word before you can meditate on the word, you know. So you have to read scriptures, you know. Reading scriptures is a very important thing, you know. So you sit down, you read your scriptures, you hear scriptures, you hear the words, and you sit down and meditate. It's not just enough for you to hear the words, mind you have to sit down and meditate on those words. So those words will enter inside you and begin to manifest in our day-to-day activities.
That's beautiful. So that means everybody, no matter your faith, you have to always hear the word that is related to your faith.
Exactly.
If you're a Christian, you have to always sit in the garden of the brethren and hear the words of the Bible, because faith comes through hearing, and hearing by the word of God. If you're Muslim, you have to go to the mosque and always hear the teachings from the imam. If you're Jew, you go to the synagogue and hear the teachings from. Oh, that is beautiful. And you're talking about meditation, which indirect or directly includes communication to the divine, which we know about prayer. That's what some people call it, prayers, right? So, well, that's a beautiful idea. I think I don't have anything else to say on it, because you just said it all. So that's wow. And I think the last one, which I know everybody has been waiting for, was that love in relationship. You know, when it comes to love, like you said initially, it's obvious. Love can be applied at different levels and different places. We have family love, we have friendship love, we have couples love. So there are different types of love. At least the Greek love differentiated them to agape, ludus, pragma, and eros. All those kind of love. But we are not going into that right now. We are just interested to make you understand the ways that we can rekindle the fire, rekindle the charcoal that is in our relationship life, everyday relationship, whether be it family relationship, whether be it couple relationship,
business relationship, any relationship at all.
So, what do you think can help innovate some of those stuff?
I've always told people communication matters in a relationship. And mind you, people say communication. Yes, we communicate all the time, but effective communication.
Very true.
Do you communicate effectively? You might communicate on a normal level, but you have to make sure that your communication is effective. You guys understand each other, listening and understanding each other,
I mean, if I'm talking, you're listening. If you're talking, I'm listening. Not one person talking.
Not just one person talking. We're both talking and we're listening.
And understanding.
That's a very important part, because you can be talking to each other and we're not understanding what any of us is saying at all. So that is a very important part. Attention, care, and support.
Wow. Support, very, very important.
Support. Let's start with support. Support is a very crucial part in any relationship. You support your family. You support every single person in your life. You support your spouse. You support your business partners, because you don't know where you might meet them in life tomorrow.
Very true.
So if you support them today and you're in dire need of something tomorrow, they are able to help you. Now let's come to care. Let's face it, everybody needs care in their life. So if you know the amount of care you need, why don't you show that care to another person? And that person would want to show the care back to you,
Yeah.
So it just makes everything easier. So it keeps, if you add these things to your relationship, any relationship, it's bound to make it grow stronger. Now let's come to it. Attention. Everybody likes attention. I don't think there's nobody in this world that likes attention. Now when you come back to us ladies, we love attention, don't we? I mean, we love to have the attention 24/7. And let's face it too, men may be hard on the outside, but trust me, they do want attention. So if you give attention to anybody, anybody at all, be it your business partners, your spouses, your family members, they are bound, your relationship with them is bound to grow stronger and stronger and stronger. The fire will keep burning. The fire is not going to diminish, it's not going to die off. Because if we don't give these things the care, the support, the attention, the understanding, the listening, the effective communication, the encouragement they need, the relationship, whether anybody likes it or not, is going to slowly die off and diminish. And trust me, none of us would want that, would we?
No, certainly. Let me just add one. Every relationship needs protection. You must cover the nakedness of whoever you are in relationship with outside. Not literally the nakedness, but there are certain things that you should do and certain things you shouldn't do, where you should defend their rights and whatever things. It applies to all type of relationship, even family. Your family needs that covering.
Yeah.
They need that defense, whether you're a man or a woman.
Exactly.
Your business needs that covering. You need that defense, whether you're a man or woman. Your spouse, husband or wife needs that covering. Don't go and open your mouth and talk against them, or you compare them with somebody else, or you just as when I see men doing that, or women doing that, I go crazy. Like someone will come out and say, my wife did this. My wife, you married for Christ's sake. Yes, there are some things you might need advice from friends, but you don't go pouring out
Every single thing.
Ah.
No, that's not a good trait.
So I believe with this, we're able to give you the complete charcoal lesson.
Yes.
So, and I want you, if you have any other place that this charcoal lesson can be applied that you're thinking, you can drop it down in the comment section. And do not forget also to
like, subscribe, and click the notification button so that whenever we have juicy details or juicy, entertaining information and enlightening information like this, you wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. Catch you next time.
I remain Pinky Fresh.
And Souljah takes. Bye.
Bye.